This video is going to be about how to personalize a web page. The question originally came about having a web page that has different tabs on it, and I want to be able to ensure that students can only access their own tab, which will be personalized for each student, as well as a classwork and homework page and not other people's, and then also be able to upload their own files into that area. And I'm assuming on this, wanting to have it so that the teacher can access those files as well. Now what I've done is I've taken the Year 6 page from the MFL department, I've copied it over into my own space, which is in departments, science, physics, GDS, frog help, personalised page, so I can try playing around with it without actually messing up what's on the original web page. Now if I just open it up, what you can see, we've got a web page that's got some information. There's a classwork page, which will be the same for everyone, a homework page, and then ENG, so that's going to be the personal page. And this, as we can see, it's automatically being set up so it's going to show my documents. Alright, turn that off. Okay, so that's the sound automatically coming on because it's on the homework page, and that's automatically running. Anyway, got rid of that sound. This page already shows my documents, which it will show individual my documents for each student, so that's fairly good. But obviously the teacher is not going to be able to see that, so it's not really what we want. So we have to change that. And anyway, it hasn't got everything else personalised. Obviously this is only going to work with a small department because we're going to try and make an individual web page for each student. But I'll just show you how to do it anyway. So in Y6, instead of that, go to edit the document, and it'll open up with the page with the frog bricks along the top. Scroll down. So this is the page that everything's going to be the same. This is the page we're going to want to change, and what I want to do is make sure that each student's got their own area, and we're going to want to edit it for each one. And the way I'm going to do that is actually I'm going to get rid of that completely, and I'm going to put in from the structure section, the very first one, scroll frame contains websites and documents. Actually, oh no, I changed my mind. I'm going to go to a common, and on the right hand side, nested page user component, because this is going to allow me to add a different page from in here. Put that in, and now that is going to point to a particular page for each student, and I have to edit each student. So how do I know which student's having a look at it? So to do that, I go to structure, click onto the next page, if component. If user type, if local user, if variable. I want the if user type, and I drag that down. And I've now got if logged in users in group or in profile. Double click on there, doesn't matter whereabouts, as long as it's at the top. And I've got groups on this side, or I've got login profiles on that side. I should be able to. Oh, that's a problem. I thought I could choose by individual student, but it doesn't look like I can at the moment. The issue being that if I can't log in by individual student, then I'm not going to be able to see their individual pages, so I can't personalise it by student. I can only personalise it by a particular group or something like that. If variable, let's go for if variable instead. Drag that down, get rid of the original one. Okay, so I've now got an if variable in here. Let's see if this will work. Double click on that, condition, field name. I'm going to field name. Now there's a list of field names which I will often forget, so I need to go back and check on that again. But if I, to check the field names, get text and pictures, double click on it, and over here, frog tags. Click on that, and it's got, okay, so personal information, user info, user underscore forename. So user underscore forename. So for my if, if the field name user underscore forename is equal to Graham, then let's put in, drag that text and pictures down to there, and I'm going to say you are user underscore forename, and let's give that a try, but let's put something in to say it doesn't work. Otherwise, if the field user underscore female is not equal to Graham, and I'll put in who are you. Don't know why I worry about spelling when I'm just testing things. Alright, preview, let's see what I get. Who are you? Doesn't know who I am. So let me try changing that. Get rid of the use underscore forename, get rid of those. Okay, preview. You are Graham. Alright, so we don't have those brackets. So now it knows who I am, which means on this page now I've got a little way of doing. So if I could then, in this part, I could put down all my information that I want for different people. Get rid of my mystic component, that's just going to complicate things. So, go back to the start then. I've added in terms of the structure, I added an if variable, so if user's name is Graham, it will show this. Otherwise, if username is not Graham, it will show this. I've got maybe 5 students because it's a small department. So let's put in another one. So in the drag that into there. So now I've got, if the username is Graham, it says you are user underscore forename. Otherwise, if it's not Graham, display, and it's going to check now for another component. User underscore forename is equal to Francois. And then we can put in the information that we want for the next person. So, and then we can edit whatever we want in here. So maybe as text, maybe the other information, and then maybe, and then if they're not Francois, we can put in another if clause. And do that for each student. It's going to get quite long, but at least everything's in one place. So when you come to edit it for different students, you just come and edit this page and edit each section. Obviously, by doing this, we could then put something common for each person. So we can have something above the top there that will say this is a general, so this is visible by everyone. And anything that we put underneath the if clause is also visible by everyone. So now we've got a personal web page, and that will show up the different sections, this one, and then anything else as well. That'll show different sections depending on who has logged in, and if the wrong person logs in, they're not going to show anything. So maybe the bottom one we might say, sorry, I'm not sure who you are, please contact your MFL teacher. Okay, and the tab folder, you might want to give it a different name, so it's not, you can't put a personal name on the tab folder. That'll just have to be like my documents or something like that. Now speaking of that, we don't actually have my documents in there at the moment. There is a way to get it so that you can make it a general one that everyone uploads to a particular folder, and it will automatically put in a tag with their name. Or you can set up into individual folders for each student. Simpler one is possibly setting up individual folders for each student. If you go to collaboration and you put in a web files, let's put it in the one that's showing for just for Graham, and choose a folder. Now then, I actually need to have a folder for each student if I'm going to do that. So let me just flip over to here, and I'm going to need to, if I'm going to do it this method, I'm going to need a folder in here for Graham. And I'm going to need a folder in here for Francois. And I'm going to need a folder in here for all the other students as well. So now they have their own individual folder within your department where they can put files. So if I double click on this now remembering I put this into, where did I put shortcuts, I put it into the science department, all the files are in here, GJS, blog help, personalized page, great. Okay, so it's going to show that one. And I can edit files, I can upload them, I can do whatever I want. It's going to show the Graham folder, but it's only within that if, so it only shows for Graham. That means I can upload things, anyone else can upload things, and the teacher has access to everything that's in resource development, so the teacher can see it all. So that's one simple way of doing it. Another way of doing it is by putting it into the general area. Put web files down below here where everyone can see it. Right, it's not within the if clause, everyone can see this. And now, sorry, let me make up a new folder. This is for everyone. And so obviously I need to point to that everyone folder. Again, sure. Okay, so that's now going to show the everyone, and so it's going to show everything. They can do all the editing, they can do all of that. That's okay for now. But what I'm going to add though is auto tag new pages and files. What this is going to do is that every time someone uploads something, it's going to add as a tag the user's name from the document and the file name. I've never actually tried this again, so I'm not sure what the tags will quite look like, but let's give it a try. So now, in everyone, let's preview the page and try adding something. So, scroll down, nothing in there, new file, and let me upload something, little text file from there. Upload files, try it again. Completed, so it's disappeared. Close, and now I should see in here this. I'm going to change my view so that I can descriptive list. Does that tell me? Okay, edit. I know I can do. I can go to properties and I can have a look at the list of keywords. Nothing. Why? So I don't know. Additional tags. Author, Shepherd, Graham, publisher, virtual. Alright, so I've now got, it now knows who the author was, so it knows that I uploaded it. So how can I get that to show? We only want the people to be able to see their own files. So what we can do is we can add a search. Where is it? Structure. Media. Okay, in the media tag, meta tag search, I'm going to drag that, it doesn't matter where on the page it is, meta tag search, I'm going to drag that right above, doesn't matter where because I'm going to hide it. Double click on it, and I don't want to display the search box, strict keywords, predefined keywords. Let's try user underscore forename. We're going to search within a particular folder, so only the internal. Search within a particular folder, so I want to obviously go to that everyone folder, DJS. Include subfolders, yep, just in case they want to do that. I'll use this, no, right, no control over it whatsoever. All it's going to do is just going to search, and I forgot to put down as well, results per page, custom view list scroll frame. So this is where it's going to show. We're going to have, let's just call that everyone. Okay, that's where the results are going to show. So if I got that, I need to put in a custom. I need to put in one of these scroll frames. Put that underneath the search, and give it a name, advanced name, everyone, the same name that I put in the other place. So on here, this is the upload area. I think I might need to keep this. Let's put it so they can only upload things. Oh, so they can add and they can edit, but they can't actually view anything that's already up there. Preview. Let's see if this has worked. No, Graham is showing that it hasn't. There's no items, hasn't found anything. Maybe because I've used the wrong tag. Alright, so hang on. As I said, I can't remember which one I need to use. If I go to my tags again, user info, user forename, user surname, selected user, that's what I want. User underscore username, I wonder what that looks like. User underscore username, so I'm just looking at these, I'm experimenting a little bit to have a look around and preview it, because I don't know what it's going to show me. Graham underscore S, that's not what I want. I want Shepherd, Graham, don't I? Forename. Right, so basically it's going to be user underscore surname, comma, user underscore forename, with a space in there, isn't it? So in my search, let's see if this works. Search keywords. User underscore surname, comma, user underscore forename. I'm going to display the search box this time so I can actually check whether it's working. preview it. Right, can't get that working, never mind. I think that in that case, I'm sure that's possible somehow, but I'm not sure how to do it, so let's stick with the original method. Get rid of these ifs and everything. And get rid of that general web documents one. All I've got now is general stuff at the top, the tags. Each one, this personal one, has got some text that's visible by everyone. Contents using an if variable, checking on the user for name, followed by some text, followed by a web documents, a web files, frog brick that looks at that particular student's folder. Then if they're not that person, we'll have the same thing again. Some text followed by a web files, web brick, and then the next student, and then the next student, and then at the bottom, outside of everything, we can have some other text that will be visible to everyone, and of course pictures and all things like that. It works. There may be other ways of doing it, but there we go.